Good evening, Exploders. Good to see you. Welcome back to our second week on our video series. We're going to look at the books of Luke and the book of Acts, all in the New Testament of the Bible. My name's Tom, as most of you know, and it's good to have you with us. Now, you remember last week, we had a bit of a Christmassy theme going on, apart from the presents and the turkey and stuff like that, but we covered the birth of Jesus. And I don't know if you remember saying that, or remember Rhoda saying, that Jesus didn't stay a baby. As all of us do, he grew up. And that's where we're going to rejoin the story this week, when Jesus is about 30 years old. And the video we're going to watch this week, there's a section about baptism, which is what we're going to be considering today. So just before I send you off, send you to the link below, have a think about what baptism is. What do you know about baptism? What is it? What does it mean? And what does it do? So feel free, go ahead, click that link below. Have a watch of the video, make notes, rewatch it again if you want. But I'll see you in a few minutes. I'll wait here. Welcome back. How was it? It was good, wasn't it? That's the only baptism that I can think of where the voice of God came booming out the sky. I've not seen that before. And did you spend a few minutes thinking about baptism? And what do you know? Because I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my own baptism. I thought we'd bring it in. I'm a real person. So why not? When you think of baptism, what do you think of? I suspect some of you might be thinking of, the cute little baby at the front of the church being held by the older chap with a big bushy beard wearing a dress, and then they grab the baby, sprinkle a little bit of water on his head, and then afterwards everyone goes and has a sandwich. Might be a ham sandwich, might be a prawn sandwich. Some churches do cheese sandwiches. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is what's called full immersion baptism. It's what you saw when Jesus was in the Jordan and John took him, dunked him right under the sea, and then brought him back out again. So before I was baptised, I grew up in what you would call a non-Christian home, and I became a Christian in about 2007. And please don't do any old jokes there, because I know that's probably before most of you were born. But in 2007, I was about 13, and I realised that I had done wrong in front of God, and that I needed to be saved from my sin. I needed to get right with God. So I asked God to forgive me, and I asked Jesus to enter into my life and to really play a big part and play, my whole being is towards Jesus now. And at the time I was 13, if you can believe it, I might have been cool, I don't really know. And I was a bit almost embarrassed about this new faith that I had. So I kept it quiet for about 12, 18 months. And then after that time passed, I realised, this is an amazing thing that's happened. The God that created everything had become my saviour. I needed to tell people. And obviously I did that by word of mouth, I told people. But the biggest sign of becoming a Christian is that you're baptised. So a couple of years later, I asked to be baptised at my church at the time, and on that night it was they filled a tank of water. It wasn't special water, it wasn't holy water, it was just tap water. And I stepped into it, and the leader of the church there took me by the shoulders, and again plunged me down, fully immersed in the water, and came back up again. And what that baptism shows is that the person going down under the water is completely buried. It shows that their old life has been buried. It shows that the old ways of pleasing myself had gone. And as I came up, it signifies that my new life, I've risen, and that my new life will be dedicated to serving God. Now, that's not to say that, I'm now perfect and never do anything wrong. You just got to speak to my wife Rhoda, she'll tell you that I do things wrong. But rather, Jesus can and he will forgive me for what I do wrong. And isn't that amazing? That can happen to you. If you feel like that, feel free to drop us an email or talk to us on Facebook. But for me, that's just the coolest thing. That, the baptism that I went through didn't do anything other than tell other people that I was a Christian. Because we know that Jesus died on a cross for us. He took away our sin and died for us. And for me, I think that's just the coolest thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions again, email us, message us on Facebook. But also going forward, if you want more videos like these, feel free to hit that subscribe button below on the St Thomas Baptist Church YouTube channel. And you can catch up with next week's XPLODE video. Or even, there's plenty of other videos on the church channel if you want to get involved with those. But going away, think about, what is baptism? What does it mean to you? And I would just encourage you just to explore more about Jesus. See you next week.